Good morning, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear me yet. I'm just waiting for this thing to show me that it's started. There we go. You guys should be coming in now. That was a really great start to today's YouTube video. How's everyone doing in the chat? Happy New Year to all you legends. I hope you had a great one, and I hope you had a relaxing time and lived your best life over New Year's. Let me know in the chat, how are you? I can see comments, where are you? I'm here now, I'm here. Good morning, Seeker of Moons, Aman, Andre, Happy New Year. Janet, what's up? Scott, why is that one hiding? Okay, so what I want to do today, I have to make this as quick as possible because otherwise I'm going to miss breakfast. But I will endeavor to go live a little bit earlier tomorrow. I just had a terrible sleep last night, and yes, I am still in my PJs, but you know what? That's how I choose to live life. And there's nothing wrong with streaming in your PJs. So that's what we're going to do. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? I'm shopping while we're live. That's the best way to live. Well done. So PJs all day. Yeah, you guys can hear me. Awesome. All right. So I want to do a very, very quick overview today, but I'm going to go probably into a little bit more detail tomorrow. The main thing I want to show you is, whilst we look currently a little bit short-term bullish on the medium kind of time frames, I want to caution us, it's a start of the year, and I want to have a look at this kind of model that we've been watching on this channel now for months, and that is the S&P running the typical model on the weekly time frame, which is a very, very high time frame and a very kind of long-term outlook. I'm actually going to mark in this vector that I just noticed here, which we've come into once, which is interesting. And this is the weekly. Yeah, why haven't I noticed that before? Anyway, this is a model. Now, this hasn't been touched, this, as far as the technical analysis is drawn on this model, and we have just been waiting for price to catch up ever since this here. So we identified the M formation, drop level 1, retrace, drop level 2, and we anticipated this retrace to come within this area of interest here, which we can see that it wicked right to the top of and then has started to move away. So we're anticipating level 3 drop on the S&P. Now, the thing is, when we compare this to 2009, if we just go back here, 2009, the level 3 dropped was really, really tragic. It was the worst drop out of all of it. If I just zoom out on this area here, here we go. So we can see here, this was drop 1, this was drop 2, nothing too dramatic, and this was the most dramatic, drop 3. So I don't think, I shouldn't say I don't think, but at this point in time, we need to wait and see if we're going to have a repeat of that. Now we're talking long term, because we are talking weekly time frame. So this could be over the next 3 months, maybe even longer, who knows, 6 months. But what we need to see is what is going to happen in level 3. Now, level 3 could be the thing that changes to make what's happening in the current price action not look exactly the same as this. And that could be that the level 3 drop isn't so dramatic. And that's what I'm kind of leaning towards after watching a lot of, technical analysts that are more in the markets than just than crypto at all. I kind of like watching other analysts for that kind of stuff that study recessions and things like that. And whilst they do say a recession is imminent, they're kind of saying it's probably not going to be as bad as 2009. We don't know till we get there. Point being, I do believe we are currently in drop level 3 in the current price action. Actually, before I go back to it, I just want to give you a little bit of hope as to what happens after that though, right? Because from this point here, this was in 2009, all we did was basically have a bull market, a very, very long bull market. We had that one period that COVID kind of freaked everyone out for a little period of time, and then we just kept going. So we're talking a decade-long bull market, which means that whilst we don't know how bad this drop is going to get and how bad it's going to potentially affect crypto, once it's done, it's done. And it's our greatest opportunity to accumulate wealth ever. So we do have these two areas of interest. Now, if it turns out to not be such a bad level 3 drop, we're looking into this area of interest, lowest point being around 3,200. And then if it does basically mimic exactly what I've just shown you, then we're looking somewhere between 2170 to 2620, and that's on the S&P. So whilst we have these short-term moves to the upside in crypto and they're fine to day trade and accumulate, the point of this video really is not so much to talk about what trade to take today, although I know that's all you want me for, because that's all you care about me is my price action, but whatever. But the point of this video is to say, like, 2023 may be your greatest opportunity to accumulate as much cash as possible to make that life-changing decision when the rest comes in, okay? So take it seriously. You guys as day traders, I know you're day traders because you watch this channel, day traders, swing traders, both relevant to watch this channel. You are the luckiest of all, because you get to accumulate on a daily or at the most 3-day basis. And as long as you're very, very smart about that, and being smart is taking profits, take them out of your trading account so you can't give them back, put them aside, basically just use the market for what it's worth for now, and just funnel, and just lock it away. Don't spend it on anything else. Don't get greedy. Don't, start upping your risk because you think you're a friggin' legend. Like, just play this smart, and the time will come to make that decision to use that money that you've accumulated, and you'll be able to just use it and then sit on your hands, and it will be life-changing. So, there's so much doom and gloom, and I guess I really just want to bring you some hope, because at the end of the doom and gloom, the savior comes along, right? And that's what we have to wait for. It's not necessarily like buy when there's blood in the streets. It's wait for the savior to come along after. And when that part happens, that's when you deploy all that capital. But until that part happens, accumulate, right? So anyway, that's all I really wanted to say about this, is like, if we're having some short-term bullishness, great, but it's still, make sure you take your profits and whatnot. NASDAQ looks exactly the same, so I won't go into too much detail. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to press. What am I doing here? Go here, sorry. This is hard to do on my laptop. The NASDAQ's the same. So this one did actually come right back into our area that we kind of hoped it would, at the 50 fib level. And the thing is, it doesn't have any vectors in this range here. So it may bleed a lot more, which kind of makes sense, because I would expect tech to bleed a lot more than anything else, which again is going to affect crypto, but light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing is what we need to focus on for especially the first part of this year. Looking at the Dixie, there's two things I see happening on the Dixie. This is very high time frame. I'm still on the weekly, just FYI. Number one is we either continue to bleed down to the 200 EMA, which is where the next vector candle is on the weekly. That's not my ideal situation. That's not really what I would prefer, but that's kind of, we have broken the 50. Ideally, what I would prefer to see on the Dixie now on the higher time frame is that we come back up into this area of interest, attempt to recover this vector candle here, anywhere reject within that candle, then come down to this area. That would be the ideal, because that's going to give us an M formation, and then we're going to kind of feel a little bit safer, right? That maybe we will avoid a recession or something like that. And that's going to give us bullishness in everything else. So unlikely, but that's what I'm going to be watching out for. Otherwise, if we just straight head down for the 200 EMA, then we need to reassess what happens when it gets there. So now that I've got all of that out the way, I don't think there's anything on here I particularly wanted to show other than the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame looks to be the next target that we need to watch out for. On the Dixie here, I'll open this one up because you can't see it that well there. On the Dixie here, this is, let me get rid of that. This is the area of interest that we've been waiting for Dixie to eat into for a really long time. And we've got a double bottom at it right now. Not a W, but a double bottom. But I kind of hope we'll eat through it, but let's see here. This is a critical point. You need to watch if the Dixie bounces out of here and crosses a 50 EMA, or does it continue and create a lower low, then that's going to be good for our bullish bias on crypto for the short term. Now, I believe today, let me double check. Let's have a look at Forex Factory. I believe today, what is today? It's Tuesday, and you guys might have to help me out here because I've set this to Melbourne time to stay consistent. But anyway, so it's still a US bank holiday. Is that correct? And it's still Asia bank holiday. Is that correct? That means that the bots are the ones that are going to be working. So non-emotional situation going on there. But does that mean that UK is our only trading day today? And he's the only one accumulating? No, there's heaps of people in the community doing that. 2023 equals cash creation and cash hoarding, 100%. What else is going on in here? Thank you for your service from Charlotte, North Carolina. You're welcome, my friend. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to assume that those details are right. So US and Asia are bank holiday today, and tomorrow is a free day. Now, here's the thing we have to watch out for here is Thursday, 6 a.m. Melbourne time, FOMC meeting minutes. Now, again, this is forexfactory.com/calendar. You can go here and go up to this where the time is. Click on that, and then you can synchronize this to your own time zone. So just in case you aren't from Melbourne, Australia, or from around that time zone, you can do that. But this is showing us that we've got FOMC meeting minutes on Thursday. So if we're going to run a 3-day cycle, the swing trade cycle, we're probably going to run it to the upside, and then I would be cautious of what's going to come out of this. That may end up being our midweek reversal, so keep an eye out on that. If not that, then it's potentially these ones here. Also, don't forget, it's possible we're in the middle of a 2-week cycle as well, so don't bank on there 100% being a midweek reversal, because if we have a look at, is this the right one? Yes. Let me go here. If we have a look at last week, we ran the whole week to the downside. So we ran a whole week pushing down and we didn't have a midweek reversal. So it's possible that this whole week runs to the upside. Just keep that in mind. Obviously, just trade what you see. This is my very ugly technical analysis that I drew for somebody in the community last night that was looking for an entry, and this is obviously past now, but this is based on the 1 hour. So let's have a look at the 1 hour first, because I do see on higher time frames the W formation. Actually, let me show it to you, because then I want you guys to be clear on what I'm looking at. Here we go. So I first identified this W formation on the 6 hour time frame, stopping volume candle creating the first peak, a nice bullish candle pattern creating the second peak. And we had these two levels here last night of really high level trading light orders, holding price above 16,600, but trying to hold it below 16,800. So now when we go back to the lower time frame, we can see that we did hit on that 16,800 once here with that wick, which was just at the end of US. Now, the thing is when I originally drew that, from the time I originally drew that to now, those orders, or until it hit, they actually grew in size, which is why we had this little sell-off. But the point was, if it creates a higher low, there's nothing to worry about. Plus, you guys know, if you've watched this channel for a while, that we have to be very, very wary of dead gap zone price action. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please smash that like button. And if you are new here, welcome. If it's your first time watching, be sure to smash that subscribe button as well, and turn the the bell to also, you can be notified every time I upload a new video. We trade very, very differently on this channel. We don't really care too much about emotions. We just want to trade what we see, make our money, and get out of here. So here's the thing. I mean, it's kind of, if you didn't get that high or low entry, that was a beautiful entry off the 50 EMA. It's probably too late. Let's have a look if these shorts are still here causing a bit of a trouble. And I'm going to refresh this just to make sure, because it's been running all night. Give me 1 second. Yeah, okay, so we can see here that we've got 2K orders at 16.8, right? So they're still there. That's not as big as it was last night. It got up to 4K between these two levels here. So it's not as big as it was last night. But again, if you know me, I always bang on about the same thing. When you see the high level orders within the current 4-hour candle, which we can see here at 16,700, there's 2K worth of orders pushing price up. That's positive sign for the bulls. And look here, now they're starting to get lower and lower as price moves through. So I do feel like we're going to have continuation to the upside. You know, it's potentially too late to get into a trade now, which is why it's very important to be in our Discord, guys, because not just me, but my whole trading team will post updates and let you know what we're seeing at the time that we see it, giving you a heads up. If you agree with the technical analysis, you can take a trade yourself. So this was something we kind of identified. I think I identified it Sunday night that there was a W formation happening. And yeah, Discord has been long ever since, hopefully, unless they don't listen to me, which about 98% of them don't. But we're getting there 1% at a time, guys. 1% at a time. Anyway, just joking. So here we go. So I think we're going to be, I think we're going to be good for the upside. We really just need to break that 16.8. Now let's have a look at some vectors for candles if we can get above that 16.8. Obviously, we come back into this area here is going to be back at the high of the week, which is between about 16,890 and 16,965-ish. That's going to be an area to watch because it's also going to be the 800 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. There are a couple of levels lower as well, so just be wary of that it may not get all the way there because we've got this too. Unfortunately, high block takes too long for me to open, so I'm not going to be able to have a look at that today, but we'll have a look at it tomorrow. But we do have these levels anyway that we can work with without it. So just be careful. Like if we are looking wicky at this area, so that's one thing you need to be mindful of, but we really do want to see us break through with some strength on that 16.8 if we're going to have continuation to the upside. So here's what I would do. It's Asia right now. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. This is what I would do if I was looking for a trade. Okay, so on Asia, there is what's been set. The initial low of the day has been set. The initial high of the day might be getting set right now. Need to wait, obviously. It's probably going to take through to the end of Asia. What's this? Let me just change. This is on New York and it's currently, okay, so we're heading into our 2 a.m. extension right now. This could be it because it can come early. So just be careful. If this could be the first side, I'm now on the 15-minute time frame. Just want to be very, very clear. I'm talking very short term now. So this could be the first side of an M that is forming that will then come back in UK to create the second lower high and potentially head down. If it does, I would say that that's probably going to just be a higher time frame retracement, not necessarily the end of the uptrend. So whether you want to trade that as a day trade is up to you. The hard thing about it is you have to be aware that being Tuesday is when the real trend starts. So sometimes this, what you assume is a retracement on a higher time frame, can turn out to be the start of actually a downtrend. So that's kind of where you have to make the call. But if I look at this as a day trade opportunity, I'm looking here at a W formation. We cross the 50 here. So that's rise 1, retrace, rise 2, board meeting and retracement, I guess, and rise 3. So that would mean that I would be looking for an M formation session changeover for a day trade, which means it should be over by the end of today, tomorrow morning at latest, and could be the higher time frame retracement. So it depends on whether you're swing trading or day trading. But if you're day trading, I'd be looking for M's at session changeover. And if you are swing trading, I'd just be moving stops into profit for now and just letting it play out. That's pretty much all I've got to say. What's going on? Was thinking possible 2-week cycle because of last week's price action. Yeah, I think so too. Annie live during my waking hours. Yeah, well, I think our waking hours are similar now, Johnny. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already as well. Enjoy your day, and actually, I'll just take a quick look at Ethereum. Is basically same situation, just so you know. Waiting for M at the session changeover if you're only day trading it. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll go a little bit deeper into the liquidation and all that kind of stuff. Have the most amazing day, and see you tomorrow.